Well, all right, all right. Welcome to Sunday School. Listen, thank you all for being here today. For all of you that are going to be watching, listen, this is an interactive conversation. So, by all means, if you have questions, I need you to ask them. Put them in the comments. Doesn't matter what form you're watching this on, put them in the comments and let's have a conversation. I don't care if you're watching the replay of this on Facebook or on YouTube. If you've got questions, please, by all means, ask them inside the description of this particular uh, uh, program, episode, whatever you want to call it. In the description, there are links to contracts and all kind of forms that you would need for cash deals or subject to deals. They're yours for free. Go ahead and take those. I want you to have them. What's going on? What's going on? I want you to have those. And if you feel so compelled to have a conversation with me, by all means do, right? Today, we're going to be talking specifically about how you're going to get your first deal in the next 30 days, this month, the month of May, right? How are you going to knock this thing down and do this thing, right? Well, let me tell you, it's going to require you to talk. It's not going to take a whole bunch of your time. I can guarantee you that. But it's going to require you to talk to people. It's going to require you to not necessarily know everything you don't. If you need help, you have me, you have people in our community that are more than willing to help you. All you have to do is accept this challenge and we'll be able to help you. Now, it's not a challenge where, you're going to have to pay for a program and this, that, and the other. That's not what I'm doing. I'm sharing with you today how you can, over the next 30 days or sooner, create such an opportunity for yourself that you do at least one deal in the next 30 days. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. Stick with it. Get something to write with. Open up the notes section in your phone. Whatever it is you need to do, you need to be ready for this particular episode. All right? Let's get at it. Being a real estate investor, there's nothing to it.
Sellers are just waiting for my call. Hey.
I'm sick and tired of y'all calling me. Stop calling my phone. I'm just sick of them. Sick.
So basically, there's no competition. All I have to do is mail these out. Boom. Here comes the money. Real estate. Easy money.
Hey, get away from my car.
My offers are solid, and they always get accepted.
Be nice.
As real estate investors, we make our own hours.
Now all I have to do is put in these bandit signs.
If you invest in real estate, you know exactly what you just saw. It can be problematic, right? It's the same group of people going after the same group of people saying the same thing to the same group of people. I get it. I've done it all. Some of those strategies can work, but it's all about messaging and numbers. But I'm here to tell you today that there's an absolutely better way to get things done, that you can double what you're doing. If you're a full-time investor already, you should be doing 5 to 10 deals a month. If you're not, let's have a conversation. If you're just getting started, this is the best way for you to go and get started. If you don't have any money to put into marketing and you want to develop a pipeline of deals that's consistently coming through, and you don't have to have the exact same conversation over and over and over again with another new seller. All you have to do is watch this study that I've put together for you. It's a little bit of a training, and let's have a conversation afterward. I've been at this for more than 2 decades, and we've developed strategies and relationships and systems and processes that allow our business to do 15 deals, 12 deals a month per market that we're in. And I want to share this information with you. Click the link below. Let's have a conversation. Peace. All right. Now, I mean that. If you have a real interest in doing this and being a part of everything that I'm doing, my community, and know how to do this for yourself, and be a great a part of the community and come and hang out in our masterminds that right now we're doing once a year, potentially a couple times a year, make sure you reach out and have that conversation with me, right? So we had a couple questions that came in, and I can't see the names, right? I can't see the names. Depends on where you were. So this is a Facebook user. You can see it right here. So would you be willing or interested in helping me with some multifamily units, 4 to 6 units, 4 to 6 plex, for our home economics program? Absolutely. I'd love to. I'd love to have a conversation with you about that, and we can see what's going on, right? However you want to play it, we can play it. Definitely, definitely, definitely. I'm on your side, right? Hello to whoever that is. Hello. You love the video. Yeah, that's my little video, little commercial. I love it. Hey, Jeffrey, what's going on? Somebody on Facebook also says, love the community. Thank you so much. I am here to serve. I'm here to help out. I promise you that. Other people in our community that are doing well right now, that are getting deals. We've got people doing business, right? So we are all here to help you succeed, all of us. And again, if you didn't hear me when I opened this up, if you have questions, make sure that you put them in the comments so I can help you do this, okay? Now, many of you have been attempting to do real estate. Some of you are in a program, not necessarily mine, but other programs, and you have been finding it very, very difficult to get a deal done or to negotiate a deal properly. It's Selena. Just want to say, hey, thank you, Selena. Thank you, Selena. In fact, we're going to hear from Selena a little bit. It's Selena. Just want to say, Jason is the truth. Woo! Stop it. You'll make me blush. You know I'm sitting here with my glass of wine. It has been a long day. Cheers. But hey, we all have those days. We all have those weeks. So let's just get into it. So how are you going to get a deal in your first 30 days? But first, I want to talk to Selena, if she's out there, because Selena was struggling. Selena was having, let me just, if you're out there, I know you're out there, Selena. I'm sending you this link, and I'm waiting for you to get in, right? And I'll just kind of continue my spiel until she gets, till she rings in or chimes in. But getting your first deal doesn't matter what you know, right? What I'm going to share with you today is how you can just put yourself out there. Link up with me or someone in the community, right? All you have to do is talk to people inside the Facebook community. We're all there to help. Start a conversation and say, hey, look, I'm just starting out. This is what I'm doing. I'm following what Miles said. What is it I need to do? How do we need to say? If you get someone that's interested, we're here to help you close those things out. I'll help you close them out. Other people will help you. People that'll help partner with you to get these things closed out. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. So let me bring Selena in right here. Hey, Selena.
Hey.
Welcome. Thank you for being here.
How's everybody doing?
I'm sure everybody's doing well. I'm sure they are. But I want to just ask you a few questions, right? And it's not really about, it's not about me. It's about you and your journey up to this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you started out in real estate when?
November.
November
is when I actually jumped in.
Okay. And you were initially working with another organization, right? Another person, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. So when we got together, that was probably what, maybe 4 months ago?
About 4 months, yeah.
Okay. Now, what in November and December, what was that journey like for you? I mean, from what you were learning and applying, what was that like for you? I mean, from what you were learning specifically, and then you were applying what you learned, how did that go for you?
It didn't go well. It was confusing to me because we didn't really get a really good foundation set. So what we were told to do and you tried to go and implement that, it was just straight shot down. It was
Right.
just almost like, I can't speak for anybody else. I can speak for myself. Being set out in the world and not told what direction to go in. Like, I really didn't know what I was doing. I was just taking shots in the dark.
Absolutely. So you were just taking shots in the dark. You were learning whatever it was you were learning, whatever that particular process was. But from your perspective, what were your, because you're definitely not afraid to get on the phone, and a lot of people are afraid to do that. But from your perspective, what was stopping you? What was holding you back? I mean, what bits and pieces that you can now look at and say, this is what I was missing?
It was because we were told to just follow a script. It was almost like we were robots. And it was the same spiel that everyone else was saying. So by the
Mm-hmm.
time I got to a seller, they didn't want to hear it. It was just not good.
Because they'd already heard it
Right.
1,000 times.
Because they already heard it. I didn't make it about them. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, I didn't try to figure out what their interest was, what their need was.
Right. And
I
when
was
you
just trying to
nailed that, when you nailed that down, and you knew you had it, not that you had it on your own, but see, like remember we talked about how I set you up and you didn't even know you were actually closing it out?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to reach that point right there?
You mean overall or just that day? Because overall,
No,
once I
once you got good information, let me rephrase the situation or the question.
realized,
Once you got good information in real processes, understanding that there were certain things in life that came up, and a week here, 2 weeks there, 3 weeks there, that's understandable. But outside of that, once you had good information, real actionable information that you could apply, and you understood it, but you hadn't done it yet, so there was that gap. How long
right.
would you say in weeks, pulling out those 3 or 4 weeks that life was happening? How long would you say it took you?
If I have to be honest, I say probably about a week and a half.
About a week and a half. And
About a
so,
week and a half.
and then you got it.
And then I
So
got it. The light bulb just clicked on.
it just clicked. And I know when it clicked. It clicked when we were on that phone call.
Yes.
Because and for those of you, what happened was we were, and this was just a week ago, right? Maybe 9
Yeah.
days ago,
Yeah.
where Selena got her first deal, her very first deal under contract. We're probably having it sold this week, hopefully. But she was following everything we were doing, and it was tough right away because we talked on the phone. I mean, we still talk on the phone probably at least 5 times a week, right? So
Probably.
at least something, and multiple times a day. So when I say 5 days a week, it could be 10 times that we talk that way, 15 even, and that's cool. But you got it, and it was following a particular, and I hate to say a script, but a method, right?
A method. That's a really good word, a method. Yeah.
It's a method, and that method is different from person to person.
Right.
Right? One of the most important things that we talk about is finding out what people's pain point is. Why do they need to sell this thing? Why are they getting rid of this thing? People are congratulating you right now. Great job, Selena. So we've got and on Facebook I cannot see who it is. So someone here says congrats. Someone says great job, Selena. Then there's another one that came in. It says, I never reached out to you, but I've learned from you, and now I own 30 coastal units learning from you. Great job, man. You're definitely the truth. Thank you, whoever that is. Thank you. That means they've been watching the Sunday schools. They're going to YouTube. They're finding out information. This is a self-starter right here. Absolutely. And I would say congratulations to you, and I'm always here if you ever want to talk about what it is you're doing, do it better, partner, whatever that is. I'm your man. I definitely would like to talk to you. So, but thank you. I mean, I really, really do appreciate that. And that's why we do this, though, Selena. That's why we do this, anybody and everybody that's watching, so that you can learn, right? This is all about fast tracking. Another person says, congratulations, Selena.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Spelled your name a little wrong. We started at the same time. I'm hoping and willing. And this is Anita. Okay, Anita, you know I got you. You were supposed to call me yesterday. Anita. This is Teresa. Talked to you last week. Yes, Teresa, yes, we did. And I have some information for you. I will email that out to you. How are you doing, by the way? Welcome. And so anyway, Selena, we today I'm talking about how to set yourself up to do a deal in 30 days with no experience, right? And if you follow the script, and here's what I'm telling people, and I'm going to go right into it, and I'm going to go into it with you. When you get someone that says, explain more about this to me, please. Don't be afraid. Say, okay, let me get my business partner. Reach out to me. Reach out to Selena. There's Steve Conley. There's Michael Gonzalez. There's people in the community that you can reach out to. I'm really easy to get a hold of. But there's people in the community that you can reach out to, and we'll get on there. Some people will partner with you on these deals. Some people, like myself, will just get on there, close the deal out for you, and help you walk your way through it. You know, so there's opportunity for you to get this done. So do not feel like you have to know everything. That's first. You're not going to know everything. It's taken me 22 years to get to this point. 22 years to be able to just spew this information. So you're not going to be able to do it in 22 hours or 22 days. So you need help, right?
Definitely.
Okay. Now, here's how you're going to do it. Here's how you, with absolutely no experience, I thought you, no, Anita, you were calling me. You were going to call me because you had to do something with the kids, and I was going to do something at the house, and with miscommunication, but we'll get it together because we got to call those people. We want to make sure we call those people and get you a contract. So what I'm saying to you right now is, you know what? I'm saying 30 days. It might take you 2 weeks. It might take you 5 weeks, right? But what I'm saying to you is this. If you make 5 offers a day, 5 days a week, right? Or however you do it, make 5 offers a day or 100 offers a month, you're going to get at least one of those deals, right? You're going to get one of those deals. And you're saying to yourself, well, who am I going to call? How am I going to say, where do I get these leads? Right? Well, I'm going to tell you where you get these leads. There are free services. I'm trying to remember what the name of this free service is that you can skip trace. So if you're driving, and I'll find it and put it in the comments. For everyone that leaves a comment in here, you're going to get it, right? But I'll put it in the comments, the link, where it's a free kind of skip tracing. But I got to tell you, I never use it. I used it a while ago. It's still in existence, but it doesn't really give you. You might get people that know people that know people that know people. PropStream is another one, but it's a paid service, right? And if you're gonna like the service that I would recommend, and if you're really interested in it, it's called Batch Dialer, right? If you're really interested, I'll again share that link with you. They have a driving for dollars portion. It's $99 a month, right? $99 a month. You can skip trace. You get what, 10,000 leads that you can pull a month. It's
At least, yeah.
I mean, you can pull more. It just depends on, which one you have, right? But you're going to do that. Even if it's only 5,000, you're going to have a hard time by yourself going through 5,000 of those, right? But you'll get 5,000 leads. It's cost you, I think, 12 cents to skip trace each one, right? So I can share that link with you. You get a discount. And I think that they're giving you two weeks of those. Or it's either 2 weeks. I think it's 2 weeks that they give you for free. You get 5,000 leads. You just pay to skip trace. Doesn't cost you a penny. And you can be driving for dollars. Pull up your phone. It's Cassandra. Hey, what's going on? Cassandra says, congratulations, Miss Selena.
Thank you very much.
But that's something that you can do as well. And I hope you're writing this down, because this is what you're going to do to get a deal. If you don't have a penny, if you've got a couple dollars and you're willing to invest in yourself to the tune of maybe a couple $100 a month, you can just pick up a couple of tools and do really, really well for yourself. If you're willing to step it up a little bit and go to somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe $500 or $600 a month, you can have help doing it, right? But let's say you don't have any of that right now. And you say, Miles, well, where am I going to get this list and where am I going to get it in a timely manner? Selena, where do you get most of your leads from?
If I'm not using the batch leads, I actually just go to Zillow. I put in the location I'm looking for and I do the filters.
Right there. That's what you do. Okay. You go, and I'm going to walk you through how to do this, right? So, let me just see here what I can do for you, because I want you to know how really easy this whole process can be in terms of finding these leads. You can go, let's say, I don't know, let's say that you're in, I don't know, let's say you're in Charlotte. Here, I'm gonna, I don't know what I'm thinking I'm doing here. I'm gonna share my screen, okay? All right. So let's say we're in Charlotte. We're in Charlotte, North Carolina, and you don't know anything. You don't know what, the average home price is. You don't know anything. You just know it's a great place to be, right? So let me go over here to Google, and I'm going to show you, because this is going to help you out, right? So average home price in Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay. Says the average home price is $375,000 in Charlotte, North Carolina, right? It says it's $375,000, and that's fine. That's good. So now we're going to come here, and let's say that you're looking for homes for sale that are listed on Zillow, right? We're going to apply that. You're going to say from 0 to 200,000. You're going to say you want 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. You say you want only houses. You say that you want, here you're going to look for square footage. Let's say you just want, okay, I'm going to do 1,000 square feet to, 3,000 square feet, and I'm going to apply it. And I'm going to see, what's there. I don't really see anything that's there right now. So there's nothing there right now. So let's play with this a little bit. Let's go over here. Oh, we'll just pop up. Okay, so there's very little for sale apparently in Charlotte, North Carolina right now. That doesn't mean that you're not going to find deals. What that means for you is you have to look for different kinds of deals. All right? You got to look for different kinds of deals. Now, what do you mean, Miles, when you say different kinds of deals? What I'm saying is, all right, we're going to go here. We're going to go in Charlotte, and we're going to look, maybe we're going to change that to 400,000. Because we're not really interested in big old houses, right? We're going to look for $400,000 houses. So what we were just looking for when we were looking for 200 and under were homes that maybe needed some work, that you could do cash deals on, cash offers. And you're going to constantly look at this. And by the way, you can be anywhere in the country and do this. This is basically called virtual wholesaling. Selena, where are you located?
I'm in Georgia.
And where are you getting most of your deals?
Texas.
Okay. And that's it. I'm in Georgia. I'm doing Georgia deals. I'm doing Florida deals. I'm doing North Carolina deals. I'm doing Texas deals, Alabama deals. I mean, I'm not flying all over to go look at these houses, right? I'm pulling data, right? This is another way to do it, and I'm going to share. And I shared this before on how you can do it, right? So here we are. We're looking for those, and we're going to look for things. We're still going to keep the same, but we're looking for things. Days on Zillow, 24 months, right? Okay, let's just go. Let's see if that changes anything for us, and it does. There were houses that have been there for longer than that. So I'm going to go ahead and change that back so we can take a look at that. Okay. So, let's just take a look at this house here. And you can do this, all right. So this is new construction stuff. So it isn't even done. It isn't even up. We're not even worried about that. That's all new construction stuff. This all looks like new construction stuff. So we don't really want any of that, right? So I'm going to pull back out here. I'm going to go to Atlanta. They break Atlanta all the way down. And so you can see when you go to Atlanta, a place that's busier and heavily populated, you get all kind of stuff that pops up, right? And that's just in Atlanta. So Atlanta has, different parts of it. You got South Fulton, Union City, Fairburn, Riverdale, Forest Park, Decatur, Brookhaven, Vining, Smyrna, Sandy Springs, Powder Springs, Austell, Lithia Spring. All these are places people want to be, but we're just looking in Atlanta, right? So if we drop down here, let's just say we want to go to 200,000 again. And we apply that. So there's just a handful. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to call all of those. You could be looking at for sale by owner. You could be looking at anything, right? You're going to call all of them. So here's one that isn't even done, right? I can tell you that it is in a great, great neighborhood. And all of this is probably going to have to come down, right? But you have the foundation and you have some other things. So you're going to be able to negotiate that price. But it's worth doing. And once you have that person, this agent, like, okay, so this property is an active listing. You scroll down here, it's been on the market for 150 days. That right there tells you somebody's willing to have a conversation. And then we have who it was listed by right there. Jovaka Stanchevska. Woo, that was tough. But, that person's information will generally always be there, but they're not. But you can easily find out who that person is. Home Start, they're probably on Facebook. All you have to do is Google the name. No appointments required. I mean, you're not obviously going to go look at it, but you're going to want to reach out to that agent and have a conversation with that agent. And you're going to put in an offer based on what you want to offer. And it really doesn't matter how it doesn't matter how low your offer is, right? Sometimes we make offers to lowball people, not to hurt their feelings, but just to see if we can get it or to start the conversation, right? We want to start the negotiation. So you have to have a starting point. If you don't have a starting point, forget it, right? Forget it. But you can also go right onto Zillow, and you can, when you go to the website, you can go to the agent finder, you look for agents, listing agents, and you call them. Call them in whatever city it is you're looking at. Do you have this? Do you have that? Do you have this? Do you have any trouble deals? Do you have any deals that need a lot of work? And you just call them. Do you know anyone that does if they say they don't? And you start, like, the reason I say it could take you 5 weeks, because in the first week, you may not put in 5 offers a day. You may be just building a call list, right? You may be just building a call list. But again, if you're willing to invest in yourself, in this particular case, $100, $99, right? And I know some people don't have it, which is why I'm talking about these free ways of doing it. I know some people don't have it. But if you've got $100 that you can go in and do this, you can really just bang it out. I mean, you can really, really have access to so many different people and telephone numbers, because you're going to have to skip trace in some way. And the free services aren't really that good. You know, you wind up maybe talking to the person who used to own the house, or a cousin of the person that currently owns it, or a child, or a sibling, an ex. You know, it doesn't always work out in your favor. Sometimes it's really difficult to utilize. So having an accurate skip tracing system, a lead system, a skip trace system, even an SMS system is going to help you out. Now, you can absolutely just use your phone. You're going to be able to reach out and call people, and agents that have other listings will have conversations with you. You can easily go on to Zillow, and just look for things that have been listed for, I go into things that have been on Zillow, and it's up to 12 months. In that particular case, it could be up to 24 months, because there are things that are there. And if you just get on the phone, you learn an equation. Here's your cash equation. You ready? Your cash equation is this. If you haven't heard me say it, it's the after repair value. You want to tell them, Selena?
It's the ARV times 0.70 minus any renovations that needs to be done,
Yep.
and minus your fee.
Minus whatever profits you're going to get. So let's just say that you've done some work, and you say, well, Miles, how do you know what an ARV is? Well, when you're looking for a property, and let's say you find one and it's beat up, right? It's beat up, and you don't know anything about real estate right now. Nothing. You're just getting started. And you say, you can tell that the house is beat up. You know that much, right? Say the house is 1,100 square feet and it's beat up. You're going to go into Zillow, and you're going to look at sold properties that are 1,100 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,100 square feet or it'll be 1,000 to 1,250 square feet. And probably that's a 3-2. So you're going to look for 3-2s, and you're going to look for things that sold in the last 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. And if it tells you 330,000, today's value is 300. If it was more than 6 months ago, right? Because there have been 3 rate hikes in the last 6 months. So without going into those nuances, that'll tell you, oh, this house is beautiful. You can look at it. You can even look at what's for sale. This house is beautiful. It's been all renovated. I would live in that house. It's beautiful. Okay, so what's it going to take to get there? Hey, I'm in Cleveland. Where are you? I'm in Atlanta, and we do stuff in Cleveland, and we have a friend of mine who is also here in Georgia. His name is Ramon Tooks, who is killing Cleveland right now. I mean, just killing Cleveland. He understands the Cleveland market inside and out. He understands the neighborhoods and nuances as if he lived there. Maybe he has family there. I don't really know. But he's killing it. Single family, multifamily, and that's the place that he's in. That's what he's doing. He also does some stuff in Mobile, Alabama. I'm not a fan of Mobile, Alabama, because it's small and it's slow and there's no immediate growth. There's long-term growth because, it's on a highway between 2 major cities, and eventually, 20 years from now, yeah, I'm not in that much of a long game, right? So I stay away from there. But anyway, to get back to what I was saying, you look up what those houses have sold for and what houses are on the market for compared to what you have, and you say, wow, I wonder how much it's going to cost me to fix this house. To give you an example, if you went from bare bones, basically had to tear everything down to the studs and add everything, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, sheetrock, flooring, roof, you name it, windows, that's going to be about $60 a square foot if you live below the Mason-Dixon line, mostly. It's going to cost you about $60 a square foot if it's just in bad shape. That house that we just looked at in that great neighborhood, if you were able to keep some of the framing that's there, you may, but I don't think you would want to. But if you were, really wouldn't matter. You're talking probably the difference of about $10,000 there. But to build this house today, new construction, in a house that has nice upgrades, but not, not the Taj Mahal, that new construction house would probably cost about, in that neighborhood, it's going to be, Jason, I've been trying to reach out to you. Hey, KSO Clean, I'm here. I'm easy to reach. I'm easy to reach. We'll talk in a second. But cost per square foot, somewhere around $80, $85 new construction, right? If you step it up to anywhere between 90 and 100, you are doing big things to that particular place. Hey, Chris, big things from that particular place. I mean, big things. So you can make anything you want to have happen in that price point, almost anything anyway. You're not going to have gold fixtures or any of that kind of stuff, but you'll be able to make a lot happen for that. I'd say realistically somewhere around $90 a square foot. If you step up that, you're just increasing what you want to do, and you can really, 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 really lay it out. But that's what it will cost you. So you just do the math. If you're building a 1,200 square foot house, you're going to multiply that by, if in this case, new construction, you multiply that by $90, 1,200 square feet. It'll cost you about $108,000. That land, probably $110 to build that house. It's a small house, but people are buying 1,200 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom homes. That land probably costs you $50,000 or $60,000. In that neighborhood, it'll probably cost you $80,000, maybe $100,000. That's just what it is. And that's going to give you a sales price of somewhere around $325,000, maybe $350,000. And you'll get it. You'll absolutely get it in that neighborhood. Without question, you'll get it in that neighborhood. So that's how you do it. So it's after repair value, and you get that by looking at what similar houses sold for in that area, in that immediate area, generally within a mile, which is that radius is kind of hard to pinpoint on Zillow, but you can figure it out. And once you know what that number is, you look at the house and you say, okay, how much is it going to cost me? I'm not in Cleveland, but Minnesota, and it's considered an expensive state. It is very much so. I'm originally from Minnesota, and there was a time when the markets were very, very similar. The question is, can you do any of these things in Minnesota that we do down here? Absolutely. The numbers are just higher. There's no difference. There's no difference. And we put in dual offers, right? Selena, what's a dual offer?
It's going to be your cash offer and your creative financing.
That's right.
Seller
and
financing.
And that's right. And this isn't a new thing. This isn't a thing that I created. This is a thing I learned 25 years ago when I was learning about this stuff from Carlton Sheets. We come in and say, look, we here's what we can pay if we're paying cash. And how do we come up with this cash price? We come up with that cash price based on what lenders are doing. All right. So if I see a house that's worth $300,000, I know that the lender all in is going to give me 70% of that, right? Which is what? $210,000 if I've determined that the price or the value, the ARV was $300,000. It's not going to be any cheaper, right? I mean, or any more. There are some exceptions when you're in New York or the upper, the Northeast there, or California or Miami even, where the values are stupid. Lenders there will do 80 and sometimes even 82 to 85%, but 80 for sure because the values are so high, right? They wouldn't do much business if it didn't happen any other way. So they have to make it reasonable for them to do business, and that's how they do it. Every place else, you're at 70, maybe 75% when times are good. Times are not good right now. So you're down to 70%. And that's going to be based on a conservative number. And so, again, I'm giving you a lot of information here, but I want you to get out there and just make these things. I don't want to go overboard. I don't want to confuse you because I can, and I don't want to do that. I want you to get on Zillow, to get on batch leads. You know, invest in yourself. It's not a cost. It's an investment, right? A cost is you going out and having a really nice steak for $100, having a date. A cost is you buying a pair of sneakers. A cost is you buying something that is a liability, something that is not going to add any value to what it is you do on a daily basis. An investment of $99 a month or one time. And again, I'm not pitching it. I'm just telling you how to make it easier on yourself. So when you're driving down the street and you see a house, you can look it up right on your phone, skip trace it on your phone and make a telephone call right there. You can even do SMS. It's simple. It really is simple. So you can do these things. But if you have nothing, you're going to go right here and you're going to start calling agents. You're going to go right here and you're going to start looking at what's available in any given market. And it does not have to be your market. It doesn't have to be where you live. Find out where there's a population of, I would say, 250,000 or more, okay? And go into those areas. Learn those areas by, thank you. Learn those areas by just reading up on it, talking to agents in those areas. Many investors will tell you, don't deal with agents. I mean, have you heard any of that prior to this, Selena?
Prior to this, yes.
Yeah. They'll tell you just don't deal with agents. I'm going to tell you deal with agents. Why? Because after a while, you will have built up a network in whatever market or markets you're investing in where agents are just calling you. Also, reach out to wholesalers that may have deals that are going to be dead, right? Chris, who commented on here just a little while ago, he's watching on YouTube, is a wholesaler who had a dead deal, right? I still got to pay him on that deal, right? But he had a deal that was dead. He couldn't get it done, and we did it creatively, right? And Chris learned some things throughout that process that I'm sure he's going to implement into his business moving forward. So wherever you are, USA, you can reach out to wholesalers. How do you find wholesalers? You go to meetup groups. You go to Facebook. You look in the marketplace on Facebook. You look at Craigslist. You look on Zillow for sale by owner. A lot of time, those are investors, small investors, right? And then when you get a deal and you know you got a deal, where are you going to sell it? You're going to call those exact same people. You're going to call those wholesalers. You're going to call those agents, because that agent that you may have gotten a deal from is working with investors. And when they can bring a deal to an investor, these are generally cash people. When you have batch leads, for instance, you can look at the cash buyers list. We've talked about this. You can look right at the cash buyers on the tab for the city or zip code or whatever you're wanting to do business in, and reach straight out to them and say, hey, I see that you're buying real estate in the area that I just bought a property. Are you interested in buying any more? You don't have to necessarily just put it out there. Another thing you can do, especially if you're working in the pre-foreclosure kind of space, is Facebook groups. Self-promotion. You just put yourself in Facebook groups and you say, hey, my name is Miles. I help people that are going into foreclosure or maybe are in forbearance and are going to be facing foreclosure, save their credit and save their home. If you have this issue, just reach out to me, and then consistently do that. You know how much that costs? It costs free $99. Don't cost nothing. Nothing. It doesn't cost anything to self-promote yourself. It really doesn't. And so many people kind of get caught up in, all that it can be, all that it can cost. And it can cost. You know, I have been working in this industry for a long time, and I went at it by myself for a long time, and I realized that I was pushing myself to be good at things that I'm not good at. Do you like Redfin better than Zillow or about the same? They're about the same. You know, I think I get more information on Zillow. I can get market data. You can get market data on Redfin as well. It's just I've been using it so long that I'm just used to it, right? I'm just used to it. And I use it as a backup. Selena can tell you our primary source of everything is in batch leads. And then I double check it inside Zillow. Because a lot of times, what do we find? You know, we'll see on one, it'll say a 3-2, on the other, it'll say a 3-1 or a 2-1. Okay, so what's the story? We need to know that, right? Sometimes one will have it listed and one won't have it listed. Sometimes when they're flipped a lot, one won't have the current owner's information, and the other does, because it's just a matter of when they do the reporting, right? When they do the reporting. Batch Leads does it every week. Zillow doesn't do it every week. so there's some information that they do handle, but it's mostly user-based stuff, right? We're telling the system when we post things on Zillow, we're telling the system what this property is. So if Zillow's software says it's a 3.3 and 1,100 square feet, and we bought it, we fixed it up, and now it's a 4.3, 1,300 square feet, we're updating their system, right? We're updating their system. So that's how those things go. And those are where you're going to get your freebies. You're going to get your free information on Zillow or Redfin or any of those deals. You're going to be in contact with agents. You're going to be in contact with wholesalers. You're just going to reach out to people constantly. Definitely provided knowledge to how to get a seller finance deal to the finish line. That's Chris. Thank you, Chris. Yes, absolutely. And so that's where we go with all these things. That's how you get to the finish line. That's how you get to your first deal in 30 days. 5 offers a day. And the more people that you speak with, the easier it's going to become. And you're going to develop relationships, business relationships with these agents and investors that will bring you deals over time. I know people that spend zero on marketing. Zero, not a penny. Now they're in multiple markets. You know, they're in, the guy that I'm thinking of is in 10 markets, 10 or 12 markets. He's been doing this since, well, he's been doing this particular technique, I want to say since 2016. It could have been sooner, but he's been doing this particular technique since at least 2016, so 7 years. And you can imagine in 7 years, you build up a lot of rapport with people. You develop a lot of relationships. And when they find a deal, they're going to call you because they know you can do what? Close. They know you can close. And when they know you can close, the world changes. The world changes. People just throw deals your way because they know you can close, especially when we're doing creative finance deals. You know, we can take deals with no equity, none, and make it a deal. Make it a deal that's profitable for us, but that's understanding how to put your exit strategy in. So as I'm having this conversation with you folks out there, whether you're watching it live or whether you're watching the replay of this, all you have to do is reach out to me or someone in the Facebook community who knows how to negotiate these deals. Partner up with them. You find the deals, let them close it for you. Make money, learn the process so that you can duplicate the process and go out there, do it for yourself, and then do what? Reciprocate. Help the next person. Help the next person. Because I promise you in 10 years, this real estate business is going to look significantly different than it does today, because it already looks significantly different than it did 10, 15 years ago. I won't go into detail, but it is what it is. And let me tell you this. And I asked you to come on here, Selena, for what you shared, but also for this, and I'm not going to get too specific, but life happens to us all. And it always happens at the most inopportune time. It's never the right time for life to happen. But the one thing I can tell you is you got to get up every day and push your way through it. You have to get up every single day and push your way through it. Because if you don't, you're only wasting your time. You're only wasting your ability. You're minimizing the greatness that you can share with this world and the loved ones, your friends, your family, and anyone else who's waiting in the wings that you haven't met yet, that's waiting for you to win so you can help them win. So get up every day.
Fast forward.
Every day, get up. Don't let life, yes, I get it. Sometimes you got to pull back and take your moment. You know, you had to do it. I had to do it. But you got to, and that's necessary. Sometimes it's heavier than others. But you get up, you take your moment, and then you get back at it. You might have a couple people that are mad at you, but it is what it is. You got to take care of you. But you got to get back to business. You got to get back to business. And stop trying to be good at the things you're bad at. Hire people to do that. Be good at what you're good at. Oh, what'd you say? You don't know what you're good at? Well, then do everything until you figure it out. And I'll be here to help you do that. Right? Ain't that right?
That's right.
Do everything until you figure it out. Do your marketing. Do your negotiating. Do your closing, your closing coordination, you know, or your disposition, as they like to call it. But, you know, do it all until you realize I'm not good at this part. Because I'll tell you this, if you're a closer, you need to be closing. You need to be ABC. That means everything else that's about your business, you need to hire people. You need to hire cold callers. You need to hire closing coordinators. You need to hire those people so you can be the closer and help other people learn how to close as well as you. Because closing is really easy. It just sounds difficult. Selena and I did this recording. I'm editing it. It should have been done. I haven't had the time to get it done, but it should be done this week and out, and I'll make it available to everyone. But the actuality of it is, Selena, you closed that deal the day before. You just didn't know it. I told you what to say. Right. You said exactly what needed to be said. So when I got on the phone the next day, all I had to do was handle the objections, and the contract was done. You had the contract to them in what? An hour and a half?
If that, yeah. If that.
A beautiful house, by the way. I'm telling you, that house is absolutely gorgeous.
It
you know,
is.
and you know, I'm not going to put your business out there, Selena, but I'm going to put your business out there. Now, this is a creative finance deal that is being wholesaled. Wholesaled. People say, well, you can't, how do you wholesale a creative finance? Yes, you can do it. We do it all the time. Selena's first deal is a creative finance wholesale deal that she will make 5 figures on. I won't say the exact number. 5 figures. But guess what? Whoever buys that property is going to make $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
It's a sweet deal. And it's because someone had pain and was just tired of it. She figured it out. And they're just like, just take it. Just take it.
Pretty much.
Just take it. And so by understanding how to do a dual offer, you'll get a lot of deals, right? And there are some other things that can come into play, like novations and things like that. But again, that's why you have someone to help you out. When you're putting in 5 offers a day, you're not going to know how to close every one of those deals. You're not. You're not going to know how to close them, not right away. But if you do 5 offers a day for a month, 100 offers in 30 days, and you say, Miles, I don't got, who has the time to do this kind of madness? Miles, I got a job. I'm not telling you to quit your job. I tell people, give me 5 to 10 hours a week. That's all you need to give me. And it doesn't have to be all at once. Now, how many telephone calls can you make in 5 hours in a week, or 10 hours in a week? How many telephone calls can you make in the first week to set yourself up to make 25 offers in the following week? You can make a lot of telephone calls. You can make a lot of telephone calls in just the setup. And that's why I say spend the first week just setting yourself up. You can make those calls while you're on your break at work. You can make them while you're driving to work. You can make them while you're driving from work. You can make them by getting up an hour early on Saturday. an hour early on Sunday, depending on where you are, or do something before dinner on Sunday. People don't like when their phone rings on Sunday, though, so I really wouldn't, I wouldn't recommend it, but I do know that people do call on Sundays. I don't. My team doesn't. It's just not something we do. But I make sure that, I would, if I were you, I would make sure that I'm putting that much time in. That much time. An hour a day on average. And if you can do more a day or two, God bless you. Do that. Because that's how you're going to get your deal. And again, I'm going to talk about Selena. Selena works from home. And in her spare time at home, she's doing real estate. And I actually think it's the other way around. But I think that she does real estate and does her regular job in between. So
and on Sundays, because people don't like to be bothered, I send text messages instead of making phone calls.
Mm-hmm. And I'll give you another example, which is something that you can do. I have a little video text that, because people see a video and they're like, well, what's this? And it's literally about 20 seconds long. Hey, my name is Jason Miles and I buy real estate. I see that you have a property over here, blah, 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 blah. Give me a call if you're interested in selling. Done. Right? And I have 3 different ones of those. Same script. It's me doing one. It's a Spanish guy doing one. And it's a white lady doing one. I'm hitting all the demographics. Right? So, listen. I'd be the first one to tell you what it is. And it's not even a bad thing. It just is what it is. Some people, not everyone, but there are people that only want to do business with certain people. Right? That's just what it is. It's not bad. It is just what it is. It's not bad. It's not good. It is just what it is. I'm not that way. Most of the people, I think all of the people that I work with aren't that way. But I know that there are people out there because I get the calls. I get kicked out of houses. I got my partner, Steve, has been kicked out of houses, and he'll call me in to go and deal with that and vice versa. But that's just the way it is. I'm not trying to change the world. I'm just trying to change my position in it, if that makes sense. So life happens. Life happens. And I say this, and sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I don't want to get out of bed. Sometimes I got to spend too much time doing things that I don't want to do because it's life. But we always have to try to find a way to get to what we got to get to. And it ain't easy, man. It ain't easy. And that's why a community is so important. We've got people inside the community that we're all helping to lift up and find their way out of their hole. I've been there. I'm telling you, I was in a homeless shelter for 30 days because I ran out of 2 things at the same time. I ran out of time and I ran out of money at the same time. It wasn't that I wasn't trying to do nothing. It was timing was off, right? Timing was off. This was years ago, but this happened to me. All right. And what did I do? I got up every day and I went out and did real estate, knocking on doors, handing out flyers, seeing who can work with me, seeing who can give me. And I finally got one. And it was the beginning of the change of my existence at that point. Life happens. You can either choose to stay where you are, or you can get your ass up and go do something about it. There you go. And that's just what it is. And I'm also telling you that you don't have to do it alone. I don't care if you can't afford the mentorship program. Right? We can work all that stuff out later. Right now, you got to get to work. So be active. Reach out. Say, hey, this is what I want to do. Get on a call with me and let's see what you want to do. Put a plan together. Get you active in the community so that you can be successful. And then maybe later you can be a part of the mentorship program. But it's not necessary. Right? Yeah, you're going to get there a lot faster being in the mentorship program, but it's not necessary. We're still going to help you because that's what we want to do, right? That's what we want to do. I'm sure there are people in our community that only focus on what they want to do for themselves, and that's fine. To each his own. But there are more people in the community that want to see you succeed because they've been there. They know what it is. And when you don't have to do it by yourself and you know You know you're not alone. Everything changes. Selena, you can pick up the phone and call and text me anytime, can't you?
Yes.
And that's everybody in the community. And Selena and Mike and Steve are leaders in the community. Steve has just as much more experience actually than me, as I bought my very first piece of property from him, right? Mike has been with me since, I want to say October, could have been November. He's working on his third deal right now. And he knows, listen, we're doing these things and he's coming up to speed. And I tell people 90 days, 90 days, 90 days, 90 days, but they're doing deals faster than 90 days. I'm giving you realistic expectations with the hope of you blowing the roof off of that. But if you go into a thing saying, okay, it's going to take me 90 days, don't act like it's going to take you 90 days. Act like you're trying to have it Friday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Act like you're trying to have it Friday and move with a sense of urgency all the time. Move with a sense of urgency as often as you can. And everything that you want will come to you. So I'm ending the preachy part of what I'm talking about now. I'm done. But I want to open this up for any questions that one might have for me or Selena about where you are now and how you can get started, how you can be active and achieve your goals. Do you even know what your goals actually are? Because most people say, well, I want to make as much money as possible. Yep, I get it. But you need to be a little bit more specific than that. Your goal should be this. My big goal is I want to close 20 deals this year, right? Or I want to make $200,000 with an average of $10,000 a deal. That's 20 deals. That's a goal, okay? And then you say, in order for me to do that, I need to do 5 deals a quarter. In order for me to do 5 deals a quarter, I need to speak to 500 people a quarter. If you get 1 deal out of every 100, right? Now, that's not counting your referrals. That's not counting, a lot of things that are going to happen in between. But that's what that means. That breaks it down for you. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to close, 2 deals this month, 2 deals next month, 1 deal in the third month. You might not close any deals in the first month. You might close 4 deals in the second month and 3 deals in the third month and beat your expectations for that quarter. You're not quite there yet, but you're getting there, right? You're getting to, you can see where you're going. And you might close those 7 deals, but you didn't average the 10,000. Maybe you only averaged 7,000. But you closed 7 deals and you made 7,000 on each deal. That's $49,000. I don't think anybody would be upset with that in a quarter. Right? And now it's about meeting my goal. Goals 2 deals in May. So let's see. And again, I don't know who this is, but 2 deals in May, 3 in June. I have progressive goals and visualization daily. That's good, but you better back that visualization up with some action. Put all the shuns in behind the action. All the shuns, all the TIONs, put it behind the action, right? The action goes first. Yes, visualize it. See it when you go to sleep. Pay attention to what you watch. Pay attention to what you read. Pay attention to what comes out of your mouth and who you're talking to. Pay attention to everything about you, because if you really want to get there, you need to put yourself in them circles. You need to go to a meetup group once a week, right? Or something like this, a forum. You need to be talking real estate. You need to be, it's Cassandra. Yes, action, of course. Absolutely, 1,000%. You need to be consistent in your efforts to get better 100% of the time. And then when you reach your goal early and you realize you didn't set it high enough, turn 200 into 500. 500,000. We have a program. A process is better, what I call it. It's a process inside what we do to help people set their goals. It's called 2 Year to Millionaire. And it's about doing these kind of deals. The kind of deal that you have right in front of you, Selena, that deal would give you, like, let's say you raise the money to take that property down, right? It puts $10,000 in your pocket plus a couple $1,000s a month, probably around $1,700 a month, with $160,000 in equity. That one deal. What?
It's real. It's real.
And if all you did was one of those a month, it doesn't even have to be that big, because the way we teach it, especially when you're doing creative financing, you get it for at least 10% below market, today's market, and then you sell it on a lease option or a wrap 10% above. Now you have 20% equity with a huge down payment. But they all don't work out like that. Some of them work out like Selena's deal, where she's gonna, whoever buys it from you is gonna hold it for 2 to 3 years, and they're gonna retail it, and they're gonna realize that equity, and that's great. And that same person that's gonna wind up buying this property from you is gonna come back and say, "What else you got? What else you got?" And every time you got something, you're gonna call that person first. "Hey, you still looking in this area? Hey, here's a great deal. It works out really well. There's not as much equity, but cash flows." And then when you get to the point where you want to do it for yourself, which is what I'm talking, we talk about raising private capital. We talk about putting your own capital to work, but you have to pay yourself first and foremost, and that's important. The last thing you want to do is make, $50,000 and then dump all of that 50,000 into a deal. You know what I mean? And now, even though you might get 10, maybe 15 back from it, you're now back to what is that when you're on the ropes and boxing? You're bobbing and weaving. You're bobbing and weaving again. And some people like it that way. But that's this middle place when you're getting your cash flow up. You're getting your cash flow up, but you got to live. As long as you're living below your means, you get your cash flow up, life starts to change after you've got 10 deals. If you got 10 deals and on average, those 10 deals are bringing you $700 a month, $600 a month. You got 10 deals. That's $6,000 a month that you pocket. I'm talking about what you keep after expenses. Not to mention those 10 deals you put, you got at least 7,000 out of those 10 deals. That's 70,000. Maybe you put 35,000 back into other deals and you kept 35 because you got $7,000 a month coming in. You see, now things start to be a little different, because now in the next year, if you look at it on an annualized basis, it's different. Quarterly to annually. And you do a 10 and it's the same kind of thing. You brought in another 70,000 and you put 35,000 back to work. You kept 35 so you can live, but you got $14,000 a month coming in now. Life is different now. Life is completely different. You're going to take all of your cash. After a while, you're going to say, "Okay, I got money in my bank account. I've got my insurance set up. I've got my trust set up. I don't really need much more of this money. And then you just start putting it to work, because you simply do not need to look at it. If it's sitting in your bank, it's costing you money. It's called inflation. So it's just not worth. You got to put it to work. You put $1 to work, so it makes you, 6, 8, 10, 15% a year, 12% at least. As the kind of investors we are, we want it to do that for us for sure, minimum 12%. And if that's the case, even with inflation being as high as it has been, 6, 7, 8, 9%. If you're making 12%, you're still beating inflation by 3%. Like, it doesn't affect you the same way. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So that's the goal. The goal is to start out wherever you are and have a plan to get to the next level. The plan is to learn how to identify the deals first, then negotiate the deals second, then get them to the closing table. Be proficient at that, then raise money. Buy deals for yourself. Start building your passive income. because I don't think anybody would disagree with me here in what I'm saying as it relates to the fact that if you put a passive income stream in place for yourself, life is easier. When you got to get up every day and you got to hustle for a deal to make ends meet for this month, that's a little difficult sometimes. It's a lot of pressure to feel month over month over month over month. Would you agree?
Yes.
So
Definitely.
finding your way out of that is important. Learning this particular skill will get you there. You start with your single families, you move into your multifamilies, everything changes. It just changes. So with that, I want to thank you. We haven't had a lot of questions. People have appreciated the information that we have. Do you have anything you want to say in closing, Selena?
I really don't. The only thing I will say is if this is your, just stick with it. It's a proven process. Just stick with it. It seems a little hard. Money's a little low. Just stick with it.
So stick with
It'll
it
work
because
out.
it's going to work. It's going to work. As long as you trust your team.
True. The community is everything.
That's right.
It really is.
You have to, and if you don't, if you don't have it, forget it. It's not gonna work. You're gonna bounce from this process to this process to that process, and basically you're gonna be starting over all the time, and you're never gonna get anywhere.
Right.
So Facebook user says, do you keep putting money or putting the majority of your money into property by holding it, or do you do other types of real estate because you pay taxes on everything you keep, right? Yes, you do pay taxes on everything you keep. And mine, what we do with our money is put it back into real estate. We buy multifamily. We take over single family, right? So most of the cash winds up going into multifamily stuff. We look at businesses to acquire as well. And by buying these particular assets, we're getting depreciation, which minimizes your tax liability, even in buying a house, right? So let's say that I'm buying a $300,000 house, and I'm buying it for $300,000, and the tax assessor says the land is worth $60,000. $240,000 of that $300,000 acquisition, I will be able to depreciate on a single family home over 27 and a half years, right? Whatever that breaks down to. Let me just see. I said 240.
Jason,
Uh-huh.
I hate to do this, but I'm going to have to clear the line, okay?
Yes, you do what you got to do.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you for being here. So, oops. I said 240,000 divided by 27.5. That's $8,700 a year as a write-off. And in the multifamily, it's even bigger than that, because you get to utilize this thing called cost segregation. You pay some accounting firm to come out, and they take a detailed account of everything in there. As long as you paid $750,000 or more for this commercial or multifamily real estate, you will be able to depreciate this asset quite aggressively over a 7 to 10 year period. And you wind up paying little to no taxes. You always have to dump it back into something, or you're going to pay taxes on it. It turns into a taxable event all the time. So you got to, whatever you're getting, you need to put it to work. And by putting it to work, it minimizes your tax liability because you have all of these write-offs. And real estate is really the only place you're going to get those kind of real estate and certain kinds of businesses, warehousing businesses, manufacturing businesses. Those kind of businesses are really, really big for write-off. Let's see here. Someone says, if you spend 2 to 3 hours a day calling, how many calls should you be making a day? Well, it depends. If you're on a cell phone, it's a lot slower. If you have a dialer, especially a multi-line dialer, in 2 to 3 hours, you'll probably go through, I don't know, maybe 300 or 400 people, because it just keeps going until someone answers. And then you have to recycle the ones that didn't, which is a really simple process depending on the system you're using. We, again, use batch dialer, and it's really, 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 really simple to do. I mean, because the system talks to itself. So it pulls out all the people you contacted, or I should say didn't contact, and keeps them inside the campaign. So people that said no, come out. People you're working with, come out. Wrong numbers, come out. All that stuff comes out. So when you recycle that list, it just goes back in to do it again. So like I would take time out, a couple hours on a Saturday, for instance, and I would make calls on my cell phone. And I would do in a 2-hour period 70 to 80 calls, depending on how many people I got a hold of. That's what I would do on my cell phone. And that's me calling on the cell phone. If I didn't get a hold of them, I will send them a text message. So I have a uniform text that I send, and I just copy and paste it. And so I don't have to type it. It would take me forever to do that. So I just copy and paste it and send it on. But I'll do 70, depending on how many people I get a hold of. I'll say 65 to 80 people, depending on how many people I actually get a hold of. And that's in 2 hours. So I'll dedicate 2 hours a week under normal circumstances, making calls on my own from my phone. And that's how many I'll make. I'll make that many. And listen, it works. I promise you it works. I promise you it works. It doesn't matter that you hear a no. Let's see. What do you say on that text message? I just say, hey, my name is Jason Miles with Will Buy. That's the name of our acquisitions, our marketing company. My name is Jason Miles with Will Buy. I'm calling you about your property on 123 Main Street. I see that you've had, whatever the situation is, if we're calling, listings that have been 100 days or more. I see your property's been listed on the market for more than 100 days. I'd like to have a conversation with you. If it's tired landlords, I say, I'm calling you about this. Jason Miles with Will Buy. I'm calling you about your property on 123 Main Street. I see that you have a this property here. I'm just calling to see if you currently have it rented. If you do or don't, please give me a call back. What I'm doing there is I appeal to people for what they want. So if you've got a landlord, and I'll give you this, people will a lot of times want to call these high equity lists, right? I'm going to call a high equity list. There should be a lot of great opportunity there. Or tired landlords with high equity. I mean, it seems rational. So you call them and you say, hey, I'd really like to buy your property. Are you thinking about, would you be willing to sell it? Entertain an offer. And they'll tell you, yeah, make me an offer. If they're not willing to entertain it, they'll tell you, don't lowball me though. Some people will come back and be like, yep, I would sell it today if you can give me $1 million. And you just have to laugh because you're saying it, you're presenting it the wrong way. So with those people, I'm always asking them, is that property currently rented? Like if we're calling them, they're going to say, well, yeah, or no, right? If they say, yes, it is rented. Oh, okay, great. How has it been in your area? I mean, we've dealt with a few things in that particular area ourselves. How has it been for you? What's been your experience over the past couple of years? And they'll tell us if it's been good or bad. And then we'll ask them, would you consider selling it or doing a long-term corporate lease? Now, why would we talk about doing a long-term corporate lease? I want to get into this property. If I can get into it with very little money, that would be the way I would get into it, with very little money. And I would build into that contract that I have the first right of refusal at the end of the contract if they want to sell it, right? Or, if they don't want to sell it, we'll lease up again. Now, I'm not going to get the tax advantages for it, but there's a lot of other things that I could be doing, right? So if I'm going to do, let's say, short-term rentals, that's like Airbnb or something like that, corporate leasing, that's a perfect way to do that kind of stuff. Perfect. If I just want to be a regular landlord, that's a perfect way to do that kind of stuff. Because if I'm going to go in and do a corporate lease with them, I'm going to do a 3 to 5 year deal, not a 1 year deal. I'm going to do a 3 to 5 year deal, which brings what I'm paying on a monthly basis way down because they don't have to worry about me. They don't have to worry about a management company. We're doing what's called, in commercials, called a triple net lease. If something breaks in the property, we're responsible for fixing it. Doesn't matter if it's the HVAC system. It's on us, right? So I mean, we're putting, Home Shield in place and we're doing all that stuff. But depending on what your exit strategy is in those particular situations, doing a lease is good. But when they want to sell it, if they say, look, I would just prefer to go ahead and get rid of it. It needs to be renovated, all that great stuff. And I don't want to do it. Now you can buy it at a discount. They know what they got. They're investors. It is what it is. So I hope that answers your question. What about pre-foreclosures or foreclosed convos? Really easy. So when you get a hold of the people, and you can get this list for free in most counties, right? This is a really, really good one, especially when we're talking about creative finance structures. You can get this list and reach out to these people. The foreclosure list will generally be free to you. Every county will have a place where you can go and get it. And maybe it's 50 cents or $1 for a newspaper, or maybe you have to, subscribe to something. I don't know. But most of these lists are pretty easy to get. And the conversation that you have with these folks is all about saving their credit. We have a whole educational process that we have for that, where we talk to people about how can we, let me pull it up. Delete. Let me see here. We don't want notes. We want to get into Nebo later. Bear with me one moment so I can try to pull this up for you, because there is a number of ways that we get into dealing with these. And the first way we even jump off getting into this is by helping people out, right? We want to help them out before we just kind of jump in and just take the property. That's just not what we want to do. So I'm just trying to find which one this is here. Bear with me. Overcome. We don't need that. I might not be able to find it right now, y'all, but if I can't find it, we can have a conversation about it, maybe next week, or I can send it to you and we can go from there, because I don't want to, waste a bunch of your time as we're talking about these things. But basically it's an 8-part strategy, and we go in there and we help them and say, hey, listen, I know you're into this situation here. We can help you out. Here's how we can help you out. And we talk about getting the house listed. Maybe they already did that. Send to Cassandra. Okay, Cassandra, I'll send it to you later. Maybe we already did that, right? Maybe they listed it already, and it didn't work. Can they get a loan? We hook them up with somebody they can get a loan with. Maybe maybe the house is in the husband's name and the wife has good credit, or vice versa. Or they have a friend or a family member that's willing to take out a loan for them, to help them out of this particular situation. So we start to work with them in that way. We talk about renting out some of the property, a room or something like that, to kind of get the money coming in for them. Most families will not want to do that. They want to stay as far away from that as they possibly can. I'm going to have to find this thing out a little bit later, because it's somewhere else. It's somewhere else. RPC, my folders. Yeah. We'll get it. I'll get it over to you. I'll find it. So when you're dealing with people in foreclosure, it's always about helping them. The very last 2 or 3 things that we talk about are either doing a subject to or partnering with them in one way, shape, or form, depending on the condition of the property. If the property needs a lot of work, we might, and the payment's a little too high. Maybe it just needs, or the mortgage is a little too high. It doesn't make sense for us to go get a loan to do it. we'll partner with them and do the work and then put it back on the market and sell it. But we also have to stop the foreclosure. So you might not be able to stop the foreclosure because you don't have the money, but you know someone who does have the money. About negotiating with other wholesalers. Okay, well, negotiating with other wholesalers is really pretty simple, right? You follow up with them and you say, hey, listen, my name is Miles. And by the way, these are great questions. I love it. My name is Miles. How do I, what kind of properties do you have? And do you have any that you haven't been able to sell, right? Do you have any dead deals? And do you have any really good cash deals? Now, a wholesaler is going to know, because if they haven't gotten it sold in the first week or 10 days, they know that they've done something wrong. It's not a good deal. And it's now time for them to go back and renegotiate or just drop that deal off altogether. So they're going to know if they've got a good deal or a bad deal. If they've put a deal together that isn't such a good deal, maybe you can come back in and renegotiate that deal and do a creative finance deal based on that person's situation. Or maybe you can come in and renegotiate it to get it back down. But a lot of times you can't do that. Some of these deals, some people, it's not that they're, maybe they renovated the property and they've had it for a while and they just don't want to sell it for any less. They just don't want to do that. So you have to negotiate with them, period. And by doing that, you can find a way to make a deal for you. More often than not, that happens through creative structure. So there are so many different ways that you can talk to wholesalers, but it all starts by initiating the conversation and saying, hey, I'm looking for deals. What do you got? Do you have any that just aren't working for you right now? It's almost the same kind of conversation that you have with, it's almost the same kind of conversation that you have with agents. Almost the same kind of conversation. So, but with a wholesaler, they're not beholden to all these rules and regulations and beliefs that may come when you're dealing with an agent, right? Because some agents, they're just not with it. They don't understand it. They don't want to take the time to learn it. A lot of people will ask you if it's even legal. Is this even legal? Of course it's legal. It's been done for hundreds of years. We close with attorneys. If it wasn't legal, it simply wouldn't happen. It simply wouldn't happen, right? So that's how we move and shift our way through those conversations and negotiations with wholesalers. It's really it's really a very simple conversation. And if the wholesaler is, even partially worth their stock, right? Even partially, they'll want to have a conversation with you because they want to make money too. Everybody's in this to make money. Nobody's in it for charity. So that's how we have to move. That's how we have to move. So I hope that answers your question. All right. Well, all right, y'all. So like I said, get with it. Just get straight to it. I'm back on the horse right now. I know you guys haven't seen and heard from me in a little bit, but I'm here. And starting this week, we'll be back with content. We'll be back with education. I'll be back in the group. I'll be back inside the community, sharing and being a part of it. I had to step away, as some of you know. I have my mother is ill, and I have had to really dedicate this piece of my life to her and her needs. So I definitely want to thank all of you for your understanding and support throughout this process. Believe me, the emails, I know most of you don't have my personal cell phone number, but I know that a lot of people have been texting the business line or sending messages and DMs. And I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate y'all. I really do. And I really just want to see you guys win out here in this world, because it ain't easy. It ain't easy. And by doing it together, we can all sit down at the dinner table together and fight over the check. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Have a great day, a blessed night. Let's just make this all happen. And again, if you want to have a conversation or download all the documents, for subject to, or your regular deals, go ahead in the description of this. Doesn't matter where you're watching. Inside the description, there's a couple links. One is for those forms. The other one is for a short little training that you can watch. And if you want to have a conversation with me, we can go from there. I'm interested in the foreclosure conversation. This has been a great video. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the prayers. Thank you so much for the prayers. But download those things. They're in the description. They're free. They don't cost anything. Watch the training. Set an appointment. I will be the one, if you set it this week or even next week, I will be the one speaking with you. Where are the forms? The link is in the description. The link to the forms is in the description. So I will be the one to have the conversation with you and see where you are and help you determine what it is you want to do, whether we work together or not. My goal is to make sure that you are an active participant inside of our community. I absolutely want to help you get there faster on YouTube as well as Facebook. Or really in YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Yes. So it's right in the description to this. The link is right there. Both links are right in the description at the bottom of the description. So if you seemingly cannot find the description, just put it in here and I will copy it and respond to your comment with a copy of the description. Fair enough? All right. So thank you so much, you guys. I'm going to go over here and make myself a little something to eat. And I'm going to respond to all of these messages while I'm doing that. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I'll see you guys next week. And I hope to have a conversation with some of you guys throughout this week. Thank you so much. And Anita, okay, you'll call me in the morning. I will be waiting, anxiously awaiting your call. Thank you so very much. And Chris, I will be on the phone first thing in the morning. I will follow up with you first thing in the morning, and we'll just knock it out. My man. Thank you, everyone. Be blessed. I appreciate you.